Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take a look here at Near Protocol. As we can see, it's been a few days since I covered this last. We're going to double check a few key factors. Last we traded this was, I think, in the 470s. We shorted down to like the low $4 range. So at this point, the question I'm getting a lot is, do we take a long right now or do we consider a short? We're going to double check and find out. I'm probably leaning more towards a short play depending on how Bitcoin behaves today and where it closes, just based on the simple fact that we got, we probably lost our little bit of a support range here. We can kind of see this little cliff here, but in the same accord, that could work as a support level too. So we're going to double check that and find out. So we'll take a look at the backend data first. I already have Near Protocol liquidation levels pulled up. Before we look at this, I just ask you quickly hit the like button, comment below. Really appreciate that. Thank you. So Near Protocol, what are we looking at here for the last 7 days? A lot, and we're talking a lot of liquidation to the upside. I haven't counted this up yet, but it's a good chunk of change there. Probably about $500 million in liquidation between 640 and 660. So there's quite a lot here. And if we do zoom in or out and in, we're looking at 560 to 540 is that next little block of liquidation. So there's more to the upside, but we're closer to the downside. Implying further downside would make sense. But again, we zoom out, we can kind of see there's a pretty big chunk. Again, 640 to 660. So just know that's present. We take a look here, we can see short liquidation delta is higher. So basically we got a lot more people taking shorts than longs at this point. And we can see the local point of control is at 595. So usually when I take a trade, just say for example, I'm considering a short trade with Near Protocol, based on what we've seen here so far, this is very limited by the way, but just hypothetically, when you see this point of control here, basically the open interest at 595 is a round number, that means a lot of people are heavy at that level. That also implies that's probably a resistance. We can see the price came up and rejected off that and pulled back. Local points of control, which this is pretty close to a point of control, essentially work as resistances. So until we close above 595, it's generally best practice not to take a long into it. That's kind of the overall sentiment. But let's take a look and see if it may be worthwhile. We'll double check the daily time frame, work our way down. We're above all moving averages. Check number 1, that's good stuff. I'll update our fib levels here too to make sure we got some accurate information regarding pullback. And then of course, just kind of take a look at our SMAs. Again, those are below the price, 0.382, this $5.30. Could be the next pivot point. That's right where the 200-day SMA is hanging out. We are above the 200, of course, and we pretty much closed pretty well above it for the most part. So we can presume it's going to work as a support range for us. Okay. Again, support range, not a support level. Please understand 530 isn't just going to bounce instantly because of that. There's other confirming factors there present as well, right? Having said that, we're under 70 on the RSI, which is good. We want it to calm down and relax, retrace. We also are at 50 on the RSI, or sorry, correction. We're almost at 80 on the money flow index. RSI is under 70. When the RSI is under 70, that's actually good, but we want it to cool off and be in the 50 to 70 range. And the money flow being above it, that's usually a positive sign. So there's mostly good stuff here on the daily. 4-hour time frame, we can see we're testing the 50-day SMA pretty much as we speak here. So we can kind of extend this out a little bit and just kind of get perspective on, hey, this is roughly where we're looking to. This is kind of a validation / invalidation area, okay? Closing below this ascending trend line could spell further downside. Staying above it implies we go up, okay? So it's good. We can also see here too a pretty obvious support level here too for us, which again, pending we close above 570, that should hold as a support, okay? This thing that what you want to recognize though is that this descending type of trend here where the price is establishing lower highs, until we break that lower high pattern, it's usually best to avoid trading into this kind of ascending trend. I talked about this too with Avalanche, for example, earlier. While it didn't fully come down, it wicked down pretty aggressive when Bitcoin pulled back, it still hasn't broken its descending trend line. Until it does, we got to presume it's going to go lower. That's generally the consensus there. So that's kind of where we're at there in the overall sense there for this coin. So just keep in mind that's present. That's a thing, right? Doesn't mean the price is going to shoot low because of it. Just tells us that, hey, we're treading water right now, and we're soon to close below a key level support. We're also under 50 on the RSI for the moment, so closing below that would also be adverse. The last time we've been below 50 on the RSI was over here in October before the price action pulled back from like 4 something to 640. Sorry, 420 roughly to 360. Okay, so again, pretty significant pullback there. It's not to say we're going to see the same thing, but it would make sense that we do, because it's pretty obvious Bitcoin rejected off its all-time high today, and if we don't close above that, 93,300 mark, then there's a good chance we're going to probably see further downside for altcoins today. The Bitcoin dominance is also on the increase as well, just kind of giving us the overall summary that, hey, alts are taking a pretty big hit right now. Okay, all that combined, stochastic, MACD swinging down. These are all bearish signs here. The 4-hour minus maintaining above the 50 for the moment is mostly bearish, okay? So usually I like to consider shorting into that, pending we have confirmation on the cloud. Let's take a look here. Now again, range-bound activity will give us some false positives, but here we are, we're broken free from the range. Lagging span is free and clear, of course, conversion lines below the baseline. We rejected off the cloud here effectively, this descending trend line. So again, if we break above the trend line, just say 596 or higher, $6 is a round number, we might have a better chance to consider a long position. However, leading into that, it would make sense for the price action to pull back a bit further, quite possibly in the 540 to 530 range. That's kind of the local support based on fib levels and the point of control. So again, it's not a super large margin for profit, but it is profit nonetheless. And if you're going to consider a short, just make sure you secure profits when you can. Don't get super greedy. It's just doesn't make any sense. What I'll do is I'll post our playout chart here in our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I'll probably provide a trade alert here for our community, and that is available and or found in our trade alert section under members only for anyone who has a membership. Any package, of course, has this available. So I sent out a signal for AVAX. It was going to drop to the low 35 range, or sorry, to the low 33 range. And that is essentially what happened already. So congrats to those who did that. Future reference too as well. Congrats to our community here for some nice profits from our Bitcoin long. We closed our ETH short a little early, premature. Hindsight's 2020. We could have got more profit out of it, but I wanted to make sure to secure that before the price shot up with Bitcoin, which it did. So I was right and wrong at the same time. Both walked away in the green. So again, secure profits whenever you can, folks. That's really the bottom line. That's how you can just be a good, consistent trader. Heaven forbid you're going to lose a lot. You're going to leave a lot of money on the table. That's normal. Okay. But the key takeaway is you're going to walk away feeling good at the end of the night, knowing that you made a good decision and you're not stressed out. All right. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Thanks again so much for your time. We'll see ya. Take care. Bye bye.